What is going on, guys, and welcome to another episode of the Fantasy Stand. This, I believe, is actually episode 12, and we're going to be kicking it off with another draft today because that's what we do here. We love drafting, testing out different strategies, and right now we're going to go ahead join this quick little fast puppy $5 draft. And yeah, guys, we're going to see how this turns out. 1 minute till drafting, and we have the 101. That is actually a surprise. Never had the one. Actually, no, I believe I did have it once and ended up going CD Lamb there because that's how I really felt that way. Damn. This one's actually a little hard because I've been debating whether or not I wanted to maybe. Nope, you know what? We're going to go CD Lamb, guys. He's been my number one. Was Tyreek Hill, six long term thing. I want to see Tyreek Hill say he's going to go ahead and go for 2,000 yards again. But we'll have to see how that goes. So, guys, here we are with the 101. This is actually pretty torn because personally, I would go CD Lamb here. I believe he's the best wide receiver in all of the NFL. Instead, what we're going to do is, I guess we're actually going to go Christian McCaffrey. This is going to be my first draft where I ever go Christian McCaffrey. So, episode 12 here on Monday. We got the 101. It's not the best or the sexiest pick, I guess, for me. But for a lot of people, he's just head and shoulders above everyone else. And what we're going to do our best to just solidify that backfield and just shore up is essentially get up our his backup, and that is going to be Elijah Mitchell, which we'll target later on the rounds, and he's essentially free, guys. So, yeah, at least here with these backfields, especially in best ball, I always say go after their backup, especially when you can piece it, and they're free, in those later rounds. But, of course, after we went Christian McCaffrey, wide receiver run, CeeDee Lamb, Tyreek Hill, Jamar Chase, Justin Jefferson, which I don't know if you saw it, guys. Sam Darnold is going to be starting there. J.J. McCarthy will more than likely be eased in. Amon-Ra St. Brown, who I actually have above Jefferson. I think he's just the more safer pick. A.J. Brown right after. Puka Nacua in 8. Then we get Brees Hall in 9. Bijan Robinson at number 10. And then we have these last two picks to fill out the first round of Jahmyr Gibbs. And we'll see who the double up picks here. We got Garrett Wilson, and I would go Marvin Harrison, but if you want to play it safe, Jonathan. Jalen Waddle, okay? The Miami Dolphins wide receiver 2. So, Marvin Harrison, Drake London, we are 8 picks away. Gonna see who falls here. And, man, we're going to have some options. Nico Collins, or Drake London before Nico Collins. Deebo Samuel. We are 6 picks away. I love these quick drafts, guys. I literally think it's like 20 seconds each pick, so we'll be able to get through this. Devontae Adams right there. We are 5 picks away. Honestly, I would love Mike Evans. I just think he's going to be touchdown machine. We can, of course, always stack him with Baker Mayfield later on. Jonathan Taylor right there. Heck, I'll go with the old heads. If Saquon Barkley falls, I may go him, but we'll definitely see how this shapes up. We are 4 picks away. Saquon's within 2. Don't want to necessarily give H.N. Kyron Williams is going to be probably a pick here. There goes Saquon. So hopefully can get someone like Mike Evans. If we can't, there's not necessarily another wide receiver I kind of like. There goes A-Chain. Well, I'm actually excited, guys. I'm going to go ahead. We're going to get at least our number 1 wide receiver here. Isaiah Pacheco. Okay. Well, I'm at least still going to get my number 1 alpha. I believe you still need him there. Between Kyron and Pacheco, honestly, man, I think both are going to be great. I am going to go Kyron Williams. With this strategy, Blake Corum will be in my picks, of course, of who I may be targeting later on in the draft, obviously just to shore up that backfield. And like I said, that's the same thing I'm going to be doing with San Fran. So right now, Christian McCaffrey, Kyron Williams, a little injury prone running backs, but we anchored with Mike Evans. So this is the route I'm going to go. Definitely going to see how we can fill out our team here. With this strategy, I mean, just depending on who falls, we may wait on quarterback, tight end until round 5, 6, possibly. But as we can see from Kyron, to start off round 3, Brandon Ayuk, Josh Allen, DK Metcalf, Cooper Cup, Malik Neighbors, which, I mean, of course, he's going to be a cheaper Marvin Harrison Jr. type, but he's still got Daniel Jones. And I just don't know about the Giants' offense. Stephon Diggs, who is going to be in a three-headed monster. Obviously, Nico Collins did well. Tank Dell was showing great chemistry with Stroud before the injury. Devontae Smith after that. Michael Pittman Jr. We are DJ Moore. Still got a ways for us to pick. 13 picks, to be exact. But we'll go ahead and see who can fall to us. Obviously, I'm just going to go in, start teeing up some guys who can possibly be some home run hitters. Andrews, Lamar. Christian Kirk's going to rack up some yards. It's just if he's going to get the touchdowns there. Obviously, from DJ Moore, Tank Dell, Sam Laporta. All right. Well, we got these tight ends starting to come off, especially that one being an auto at 4. But Sam Laporta closed out round 3. I'm actually surprised he kind of made it a little bit that far. He's kind of been more of a higher 3. Zay Flowers, Trey McBride, Travis Kelce in round 4, smash play. Isaiah Pacheco after that was hoping by some chance he could possibly fall, but that was just not going to happen. We are now 7 picks away. There's a lot of guys here who we definitely could get behind. You know what? We could go after an interesting stack because there is one that's going to be available to us, I believe. And, you know, since we have already 2 playmakers up here in the running back position, we have Mike Evans. There's not necessarily another wide receiver I am in love with. Oh, man, there goes Lamar Jackson. What I was really hoping to do there was possibly a Lamar Jackson, Mark Andrews stack. I think that'd be a great stack to go through, especially in best ball. And then even then, too, you can get Isaiah Likely at the end of your drafts just to shore up and be safe with Mark Andrews. And Isaiah Likely held his own, obviously, when he was thrust into that position last year. So I'm not against going someone like a Mark Andrews with Isaiah Likely after. Obviously, we'll see if he can fall to us as he's the only one in there. Patrick Mahomes would be awesome as well. George Pickens, consideration to be our wide receiver too, had he been there. I think he's going to be a dog. Terry McLaurin's still there in that air raid offense. I love Jaden Daniels. Patrick Mahomes. There he goes. 2 picks in front of us. So, alrighty, guys. We're actually going to switch things up a little bit. Anthony Richardson is still there. Travis Etienne. I don't have a lot of Anthony Richards stock, but I think he would be great just being that mobile quarterback. Right here, going to go ahead, get just that playmaker of Mark Andrews. I mean, I think he's going to be solid for us. And like I said, with the strategy of going Isaiah Likely later, that's how I've kind of been going about things. But here we have Anthony Richardson. We can, of course, go. I'm going to move him to the top in case he, yeah, just goes ahead and auto picks. But Anthony Richardson, right there, we're hoping to get Lamar Jackson. Obviously, he went before us, so still got our good mobile quarterback. We actually now have we got some playmakers in all positions right here. There's been a lot of times where, we may be missing or a little light in some areas, but this is a pretty good start. Obviously, wide receivers in 20 picks, or, 19. Obviously, Terry McLaurin goes right there. It's going to be interesting to see who can possibly fall to us, but do have faith, obviously, here with 19 picks left. So I'm going to go ahead and start queuing up some guys just in case. Keon Coleman. Guys, I don't know why a lot of people are sleeping on Keon Coleman. I think he really has a great opportunity this year. If I'm not mistaken, 6'4". Like, this dude's massive. Like, obviously, I think ran a 4.61 40 or something like that. But the other statistic I found was he topped out at like over 20 miles per hour in the gauntlet drill or something. And it was just, fastest, I think, either not only that combine, but in the past years. All right, 12 picks away, guys. We queued up some guys, hoping to see who can fall to us. Just going to queue up some of these other guys, just playmakers. All right, 9 picks away. So, from Terry McLaurin, Dalton Kincaid, Keenan Allen, Chris Godwin, Hollywood Brown, James Cook, Jaden Reed, Rashee Rice, Joe Mixon, which, man, there are some question marks there now. Calvin Ridley, Xavier Worthy, Roma Dunze, Christian Watson, 7 picks away. And I don't know, guys. I don't know which route to go. Obviously, there are some wide receivers I need to just kind of hit on and take. Man, if we're 5 picks away, I have 0 Lad McConkey shares. I've honestly been going more kind of Josh Palmer later on. A lot of people are saying he's going to be the guy. Honestly, here, if I could, just because, there's no way I'm going to get Keon Coleman, from there. He's a guy I am believing in. So, possible Lad McConkey and Keon Coleman just to kind of get my 2 wide receivers. Alvin Kamara obviously is there, just trying to get Kendre Miller later. Kyler Murray, who's just going to be exciting. Another mobile quarterback. We kind of would just take over that position. Week 11 bye, week 14 bye. Kenneth Walker, we're now 1 pick away. And I kind of hope Lad McConkey goes just so we don't have to make this decision. Because, okay, there we go. Thank goodness. So, Keon Coleman for sure is going to be one of our picks here. After that, I'm kind of torn between either Alvin Kamara or Kyler Murray. And obviously, Super Camario can put up just points and production. New target in form of Harrison, man. This is really, of course, hard to choose. I'm going to go ahead. I'm going Kyler Murray. Double rushing quarterback. Is this a risk? Yes, it is. But we have 2 QBs right now, 2 running backs who I'm going to be targeting their backups, 2 wide receivers, which, of course, probably could have went another rookie and Brian Thomas if I really wanted to. You can give the shot at Jamison Williams. There's going to be some guys kind of later on I'd rather take a chance on, like Rashid Shaheed, like the Josh Palmers, Tyler Lockett. I mean, he's still the same player, guys. Like I know Jackson Smith and Jigba is creeping up on a lot of people's boards, but Tyler Lockett is still there. So I believe there's going to be some guys that we can just surround this team with. Man, Javonte Williams, I had a little hope, but the fact that there's talks of him possibly being in a bubble, that's just not good. So again, guys, we're still 15 picks away, obviously, with us being the one. And I love this too, especially just knowing with the one, just trying to see how we can go. So obviously in a redraft, you wouldn't go another quarterback position right there. You would have probably either got your third running back and Kamara. I mean, Zamir White obviously is up high on my board. I could have had him as my RB3, which I'll take. And then once again, guys, that's all that would have been three running backs where all three of their backups, especially in best ball, are free. Elijah Mitchell, free. Blake Corum, got to pay a little bit up on him, obviously with him being the more exciting rookie. But with Zamir White, Alexander Madison, free. Heck, if you go James Conner, and kind of wait a little bit to get your running back position here. This guy should be highly thinking about Trey Benson, is hoping Trey Benson falls to him. There goes Zamir White, though, in round 8. We're still 9 picks away just to kind of see who can possibly fall. So, just going to queue up a couple more guys. Mostert's there. I like him. Brian Robinson. Well, 7 picks away. So, least number 1 pick, I would be getting another running back here. My pick would be Raheem Mostert. If he doesn't, would hate to, but may have to go Blake Corum this early. I mean, I will play the ADP game with him, but we'll see once we get the 4 picks. 4, 7, 14. Yeah. Going to be playing the ADP game with Corum there. Obviously, Mostert goes before us, so that's a bummer. Going to see who else can possibly fall. I like Brian Robinson Jr. I think he's going to be the goal line back there. I believe Trey Benson can step up, so I could go that route with double and just, get Blake Corum kind of later. I mean, yeah, you look at the wide receivers, obviously, and there's just not a lot there. So we have Brian Robinson Q. That's who we're going to be taking. I'm just going to be here looking at this because what it could possibly do, and this is honestly why I normally go wide receiver off the back, is because there's always just so many good running backs, and just not enough wide receivers. So I'm going to go ahead, let this run by. I have 0 Trey Benson shares. I want to take a chance on him. Plus, I want to snipe the guy who got James Conner. Obviously, he was hoping he would have gotten, but heck, got 4 running backs here, filling out this roster. There's going to be a lot of guys we're going to take chances on, especially here in our wide receiver position. These are the guys who goes robust RB. Well, I mean, I thought it was robust RB, I guess. But not really. Go C drives. So our next pick, obviously, is going to be in the 10th and 11th round. We're going to have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. And the wide receivers are tend to be kind of going down, but from the Trey Benson, Trevor Lawrence, Njoku, Rashid Shaheed, Joe Burrow, Tony Pollard, Tajay Spears, back-to-back Tennessee, Joshua Palmer, who on paper technically wide receiver one, Dak Prescott, Jordan Love, Jaden Daniels, getting that quarterback run here. Tyler Lockett to end the 9th round, and we'll see who he's going to go ahead and start the 10th round with. Devin Singletary. Oh, he definitely needs those running backs. And good for Team 12. Punting the quarterback position all the way. Oh, that's a bummer. We lose out on Blake Corum. That's okay. And a little bit more earlier than he was supposed to. So that guy definitely took a chance on him. Romeo Dobbs, Brandon Cooks, Brock Purdy, Dontavian Wicks, which one of 4 wide receivers to choose from. Honestly, I would just pick probably Jordan Love there as the only Packer to maybe take a bet on. 4 picks away. Man, there's still all these running backs where, especially in best ball, they're going to be decent. So, Josh Downs, Jalen Polk, Leggett, Pearsall, Jermaine Burton. Zeke Tua, 1 pick before us. All right, looking up here, just seeing who else we have. Going Jerome Ford. Or at least to move him up. But the thing is, who do you want? Either Schultz or Goddard. I'm actually going to go Schultz here. Oh, no. Actually, I need to go Goddard. And the only reason I am going Goddard here over Schultz, and especially in the best ball world, different buy. Obviously, it wouldn't be good to have 2 guys on the same buy there. Man. Episode 12. This one's... Stick with me, guys. I'm looking at this wide receiver picks right now, too, and we're just going to see who we fill it out. Because right now, it's more than likely going to be... It's going to be 1 veteran in Mike Evans and the rest rookies. So, had we had CeeDee Lamb and Mike Evans and just had Kyron Williams there, wouldn't have to worry so much. But this is hopefully for your entertainment, just to see how these drafts go. But as you can see, guys, I just feel like the wide receiver position dominates those first 3 rounds. And you just have to choose. You have to choose your 2 champions. And for some of these guys, I mean, Jalen Waddle, a lot of people believe in him. Devontae Smith. I mean, heck, even Nico Collins with the great year he had. Like, that's a 3-headed monster. Jalen Waddle, wide receiver 2. Devontae Smith, wide receiver 2. Like, definitely choose your studs. Choose who you believe in. But probably won't go after any more quarterbacks. Running backs, I always like to wait because then I'll just, draft the 4 I'll take a chance on and get their 4 or 3 or 4 backups. But right now, stud starter, goal line back, Trey Benson, James Conner goes down. He's going to be the guy. Jerome Ford, which right now he's the one. I mean, I know they got Deontay Foreman there as well, which could be a last pick. Like I said, guys, you can come in here, Elijah Mitchell, Deontay Foreman, Austin Eckler, obviously, is going to be one of those, picks where I wouldn't necessarily choose him as a backup. I'd just stick with Brian Robinson, but Heck, guys, even if you waited and go Zeke, who, like I said, or always will say, he's going to rush for 30 yards, but he's going to also have 2 touchdowns. Anything happens with him, Rico Dowdle is going to be free towards the end of the draft. So we are 8 picks away. We're going to be filling out this roster with players who have had production before. And, for example, like Rashad Bateman, supposed to bounce back. So I believe we still have a shot with some of these guys here. Ooh, Isaiah Likely towards the end. But 4 picks away, we're going to start hammering down this wide receiver position. Some of our guys are going to be going. Leggett would have been a great pick. I think he's got a good path. Ricky Pearsall, anything happens to Brandon Ayuk, obviously he just vaults up. And hey, guys, if we would have had Alvin Kamara, Kendre Miller would have been right there for us to take and just solidify that backfield. Darnell Mooney, who is locked in for a key role. Man, I think I may take a chance on some of these guys. Like Ricky Pearsall, he's going to be our wide receiver here. I mean, you can say we're just playing the ADP game, but Adam Thielen, who had 6 good games. I mean, Demario Douglas, who is also in spring camp, apparently tearing it up. So we're going to go Pearsall there. We're going to take the wide receiver 2 in Darnell Mooney. Hoping he's there. Just hoping that Kirk Cousins lights it up. Jordan Addison obviously had a decent season last year as well, so maybe there's a supporting role where Darnell Mooney can obviously get a couple of those deep bombs. So we're going to start filling out this wide receiver position. We're going to be taking chances on just because we're a little bit more solidified in these running back roles where we may not have to essentially take a backup. I always like to leave all my drafts with it being 18 rounds, well balanced, as in 3 quarterbacks, 6 wide running backs, 6 wide receivers, 3 tight ends. But we'll go ahead and see, because obviously Elijah Mitchell would be good to shore him up. If we would have had Blake Corum to shore up LA's, I wouldn't necessarily worry about anything else. But maybe Deontay Foreman, that could be a good one. Just that goal line role. I mean, heck, he may actually have weekly value. Rather than Elijah Mitchell, who will only have value if anything happens to Christian McCaffrey. But we are 17 picks away. We're, of course, going to try and see what other wide receivers can possibly fall to us. But just looking at this, we are going to have 5 picks left. I don't believe we will get another quarterback. Really, the only one, with just the 2 we have in Anthony Richardson and Kyler Murray, may get one more. I mean, Taysom Hill's free. He's, just the quarterback in here. Possible get goal line work as well. As always, just trashing value on whoever's there. But going to see who the end of this 13 round is, and then who the start of the 14th will be. So I believe he timed out, got Aaron Rodgers, and went Jaleel McLaughlin, which could possibly be the starting running back. Dude's got the crazy work ethic. Javonte and Samaje are on a bubble. Audric Estime is going to be an interesting pick later on. But Jaleel, I mean, second year, definitely could take that lead. From there, Kamani Vidal, Jalen Wright, Quentin Johnson. We're obviously sneaking in here Antonio Gibson to a couple of our picks. Baker Mayfield. With us being within 5, gonna go ahead and see just who is gonna be available here. So got 2 good tight ends. There's Ray Davis. So kind of hoping for Rashad Bateman here. A lot of reports talking about just a bounce back. Obviously dealing with that, was it the List Frank last year? Troy Franklin, I'm hearing. I have a very little stock in Troy Franklin. However, I believe Bo Nix was his quarterback, so it has that connection there, which a lot of people are kind of correlating it between Joe Burrow and Jamar Chase. That's the only reason I really want to give Troy Franklin a shot there. Jerry Judy's not there. Cortland Sutton, I believe, possible on his way out, especially if he wants another contract. The only thing that stinks is we'll more than likely be missing out on Isaiah Likely should we do that. So for sure, we're going to go ahead, get Rashad Bateman here. Just hoping on that bounce back. He's the veteran. We have, let me see here. So, yeah. I'm going to stick to my strategy of making sure that our top tight end position in best ball is taken care of in Mark Andrews. Obviously, in a redraft, would not go Isaiah Likely and have him on my bench. But with this being best ball, want to make sure we lock up one of the best tight end position groups there in Baltimore. So we have our tight end set. We have our quarterback set. We have 5 running backs, all essentially starters, with Trey Benson, waiting for that injury to happen. Brian Robinson, I believe, has the hold over Austin Eckler. And Kyron Williams is the number one still there. Last year, just from what I've seen, they want to attribute it to Tank Bisbee and ETN, the rookie coming in, thinking he's going to do it, but Kyron Williams is still the guy. So as much as we would have loved to have Blake Corum there just to solidify, that position, have our 6 running backs, I think we're pretty set to where we'll take a chance maybe on Deontay Foreman just to get the Cleveland, touchdowns. And for our last wide receiver, that's going to be whoever can fall to us at that pick. So kind of going in, you have Tyler Boyd, wide receiver 3 in Tennessee. Obviously Calvin Ridley, DeAndre Hopkins there. Javon Baker, another rookie. Just go ahead and queue up. Just going to click down here. DJ Chark, who is battling Quentin Johnson for that wide receiver 3 role. Man, Jalen Hyatt, which wide receiver 2, bumps down the depth chart. It's a Giants defense. Nothing exciting. Could do Juwan Jennings, who is kind of always... he's had some explosive games. Obviously, the touchdowns aren't there. Kendrick Bourne, which I don't know why, but still listed as a starter, I believe, guys. Man, there is no one down here. Make sure to lock your wide receivers, guys, because there is no one down here. Literally, it's going to be between Tyler Boyd and Javon Baker. It's nuts. Just going to go ahead and queue up Deontay Foreman there to make sure we don't miss out. Alexander Madison, as you can see, still way down there. Free for your Zamir White owners. Heck, Clyde Edwards-Helaire, I believe, still here. Running back 2. Tyrone Tracy, running back 2, could possibly take over. I know he's a rookie. So here we are, literally choice between Tyler Boyd, Javon Baker. Actually, I've normally been going Kendrick Bourne. I'm queuing up Kendrick Bourne here because, like I said, guys, go look up the depth chart. I am going to look it up right now, too, just to make sure. But Kendrick Bourne, oh, no. Deontay Foreman really went. Oh, no, there he is. All right, we got Deontay Foreman. I was like, what happened? And of course, you accidentally unclick the star. Oh, heck, wait. Oh, hell breaks loose. All right, guys, gonna go ahead just check this New England depth chart. Obviously, still a little early, and right here, Kendrick Bourne still listed in that starting wide receiver 3. We'll see some of these. Kendrick Bourne still in that starting set. So I think we may have lucked out on a possible playmaker there in Kendrick Bourne. It's a free pick. Deontay Foreman, we got him there to solidify our Cleveland running back position. And so look at this, guys. I mean, obviously we're gonna have one more pick left. We'll see who it'll go to, but we have 2 quarterbacks, 6 running backs, 6 wide receivers, 3 tight ends. Which in that 3 tight ends, obviously we spin up, took Mark Andrews, but we made sure that one of the tight ends we took was his backup to just shore up that position right there. Ended up taking Dallas Goddard a little bit later on as well. Had Dalton Schultz there, who I kind of like a little bit more. Obviously, there's a lot of pass catching options there. But one thing here, especially in best ball, that is going to be the tiebreaker for me is going to be the bye. With best ball being obviously who's playing that week, there's no waiver wire pickups, no interchanging, who's starting that week. Really needed another person that we know is going to, one, play that week, but two, could actually put up great numbers, especially in week 14, when playoffs are essentially down the line. Yes, Goddard just needs to stay healthy, and of course, we at least got that tight end position there shored up. But, guys, pretty surprised with this roster, how it turned out to be. Obviously, really, really light on the wide receivers. That is our biggest concern with this draft, with this build. But with having the number 1 pick, I did end up getting one number 1 pick before I started recording these drafts. Ended up going CeeDee Lamb, since I do love going wide receivers in these top 2 rounds. And then, heck, even if you got that early 3rd round pick, you're still possibly going to have someone there of Kyron Williams, Derrick Henry, Isaiah Pacheco, ETN if you're a believer, A-Chain as well. So there's going to be your pick, and you solidify your roster with top 2 wide receivers. So I think there's a lot of value in the running back position later on. Obviously, we took a chance here, and there just wasn't a lot of wide receivers that we liked in certain rounds. So interesting build for sure. 5 picks away from our last pick. Once again, doing another draft, episode 12. Like I said, hope this is here for your entertainment, just so you can also see, which guys are targeting or people are targeting in certain rounds. And even then, how you would have pivoted. Obviously, we went Christian McCaffrey 1, took Mike Evans, Kyron Williams. When we came back, we did go, Mark Andrews, and did take a chance on Anthony Richardson. Was hoping Lamar Jackson, last year's MVP, would have been there. But Anthony Richardson should still be a stud. Kyler Murray right there. I'll probably go ahead. Well, I am the last pick. Just seeing here, I mean, Jalen Hyatt. Like, there's no one. There's no one, guys. Like, literally, Russell Wilson is, like this is who, we're going to go end up getting. Because it's like, who else is going to put up points? At least Russell Wilson right now is a starting quarterback. But was hoping some other playmaker possibly would have made it down. Jalen Hyatt was still there. I just really don't believe in the New York Giants offense. So I love that we did this, guys. Projected 2,900. I'll take that. Obviously, we always want to try and be over the 3,000s there. But starting our quarterbacks, Anthony Richardson, Kyler Murray, great mobile quarterbacks who I think are going to be solid. Russell Wilson, maybe he'll be safe. Maybe somehow we'll throw 3 or 4 touchdowns one week. But our running back core, I believe, pretty solid, even though we just stuck with our 2 starters pretty early on in Christian McCaffrey and Kyron Williams. Took a while, but made sure we got Brian Robinson Jr., who I still think has a leg up over Austin Eckler, will be the goal line back, just being the bigger back there. Trey Benson, who will eventually take over for James Conner when something happens to James Conner, or heck, maybe just naturally it happens. Trey Benson is a baller. Jerome Ford, he right now is the running back one in Cleveland with Nick Chubb being a question mark. Deontay Foreman right thereafter, who may get some goal line carries. We just shored up that Cleveland backfield. So not worried about our running back position. Heck, our tight end position pretty solid as well. I feel with Mark Andrews just backing him up with Isaiah Likely. We got Dallas Goedert there just in case for that Week 14 bye. But obviously the big question mark here is the wide receiver position. We went Mike Evans first. May not yardage wise, go off, like the Tyreek Hills, like the CeeDee Lambs, but touchdown wise, in the red zone could be huge. So we're banking on touchdowns there. And then from that route, we definitely punted this position. And ended up with Keon Coleman as our wide receiver too. I have high hopes in Keon Coleman. A lot of people are saying Curtis Samuel, just gonna have the edge over him. But Keon Coleman, they drafted him, pick 33, I believe. So first pick in the second round. 6'4". I think he's gonna be a stud. We went with Ricky Pearsall, another rookie after that. Obviously, the question marks with Brandon Ayuk. We believe Ricky could give us some great value. Darnell Mooney, I believe wide receiver 2 in Atlanta. With Kirk Cousins, we have just a great shot at just some decent value and points. Rashad Bateman is the question marks here, with the possible bounce back from the injury. And from there, ended it with Kendrick Bourne, who we've been honestly taking these last picks. There's some more exciting rookies. However, look at all the depth charts, guys. Kendrick Bourne is still one of the starting wide receivers in New England. So big question marks here in the wide receiver position. Running backs, quarterbacks, tight ends, I think are good. Obviously, this was just an interesting route to see how the number one position can fall. Last time we had the 1-2, we ended up going the Dak CD stack. This one here wanted to go running backs just to make sure that we lock in that position. And heck, guys, this is another draft where we kind of deviated away from our normal plan, but as you can see, not necessarily a lot of entries, more the $3, $4, $5 entries, guys, whatever's affordable. But go ahead and jump into these drafts, guys. When you can. They're against real people. I love Underdog Fantasy. A lot of people use them for the pick'ems, but use them for your best ball drafts, guys. They a lot of great stuff. But thanks again for tuning in for episode 12. Another draft. Looking forward to bringing you another draft tomorrow. So thanks again, guys, and y'all take care. We'll see you again soon.